Hey there, it's Angeline here. And today, cultivators, we're going to work on one of the most, none of them is the most, beautiful, well flavored flower that we are one of the flavored plants. We have our calyx, which is what this is here for our Rosella plants. We harvested them, about a week ago. We harvested them about a week ago. They've been kind of here drying, but this is not how they're supposed to be drying out. There's more proper steps to have them dry. So we're going to go over how we harvest our Roselle, which is also known as sorrel or red hibiscus. We did one where we harvested our hibiscus from our garden and we let it dry in a similar manner. And then we stored it here. So this is our hibiscus. And now this is the calyx and for our sorrel. So I'm going to show you how we peel them, how we store them, and we're not going to make the drink today, but usually how we the different uses of them. Okay, so today is a good day to garden. Let's get started. So let's start with getting our Roselle. As I said, I harvested this one about a week ago. We did peel some, and I have drank them. I have been drinking them. When I do drink them individually, what I do is this is the seed pod. So we have our seed pod here. We're going to wait for this to dry out and the seeds to be ready to plant. So I'm going to leave these. I'm going to be putting these in this container here, all our seed pods. I'm going to use this one to rinse. This is what the seeds look like inside our seed pods. They are not dry. They're still moist, so they're still the light color here. They are not, they didn't turn color yet. Some of them are drying. Oh. Some of them are drying here, as you can see, so it's starting to change color, but they haven't dried out yet. So we're going to give them the opportunity to dry. I'm also going to be planting some of these while they're in this state as well, just to see how they go, because this plant, sometimes it's a little harder for it to take. As I spoke about last year, it took very long for our sprouts to happen. For it to sprout, it was sprouting for a very long time. So I'm going to see when they're fresh if it's quicker. So this one has already been peeled. This is what it looks like peeled. This is what we use. We're going to be drying out these leaves. Let me leave this in here because we're going to wash it off. Here's another seed pod. So we're going to take those out because, as I said, I've been drinking them. In another video, I show you how I put them in my bag and drink them. But here's one, and this is how you de-seed it. So there's two ways that I've seen people do it. I like to have these little parts. We want more flavor. So in that way, I cut right here along the edge, right here, and then I go around this way, the bottom, right at the bottom of the seed pod. And I go around with my one line there. The reason I put the one line is so that it's easy to open. Now I can't find where I put my one line at. We're gonna have to make another one. It makes it easier to open. If I can find where I made that initial cut, here, is this it? There we go. And then you get more of your sorrel plants. So I like this method. This is my favorite method to use to get more of the sorrel plant there. And you get the whole thing. And we're going to be putting them, I'm going to leave them in here because I'm going to rinse them off first before I leave them to dry. So some plants you don't rinse off before you let it dry. These plants you rinse off. Sometimes animals can kind of find their way in there. So you give them a good rinse. And here's another way to do it is to go around the edge here. And push them through. A little harder. You're still gonna need to open one. Addie, don't shake them. Sorry about the earthquake there. She's shaking you guys up. And then this is how you peel them off. That is not, this is to water the plants. So we're putting in here, our tops, and we're separating our seed pods right here. We're gonna let our seed pods dry and open up. Stuff. So it's half of the team. So let's give this a rinse. You know, you kind of want to rinse individual, get in there. There's not too many of them in here when I'm rinsing. You want to get your finger in there, make sure nothing has gotten in. No animals are in there. So we give it a good rinse. And then we're going to put it in the drying area. I don't want to lose any of them. Don't want any bugs or anything in there. And then we're going to put them in our little drying section here. So it's pretty much the same method that we use to dry the hibiscus, which we have here. After they dry, we put it in a container. You can use a bigger container. All right. So dry our hands here. This is actually one of the seed pods, but we have switched. This is the seeds when it's moist. And you put a piece of paper towel to absorb the water. Now, because I washed this, I'm going to be changing out this paper towel shortly because it's very wet. So we don't want any moisture on it. You could put in a dehydrator, but if you don't have one, you can just leave it out to dry. So I'm just going to leave it here to dry and then let the water absorb it, the paper towel absorb it. And once the paper towel absorbs it, I'm going to change it again so it could get much more drier. And we just leave it out to dry. Once it dries, you can put it in a container like this. Of course, these are much larger. This is the hibiscus flower, the flower part. So the flower part is a lot smaller and you can crunch it up. So you might want to use a bigger jar for this mason jar. And that's where we put them. In the meantime, I'm also going to let the seeds dry out a little more than they are now and go from there. But thank you very much for watching. Remember, for more information, go to avgardening.com and you can visit us at Patreon. Join the Cultivators at patreon.com/AngelineVerdant. And we will see you guys next time. And stay green. Stay green always.